Hi everyone, welcome to another FPG News podcast. I'm your host as always, Stewart Lang. If you want to find me on Twitter, OutAfterDark216. Also look up FPG_news or find FPG News on Facebook. This will also be going out on the Radulich and Broadcasting Network, possibly the 411mania.com music network as well. I have a fantastic guest tonight, one I'm very privileged to have on the show, so I'm not going to waste any more time explaining who I am, and I'm going to introduce Laila K from the fantastic band Sonic Boom 6. Laila, thanks for coming on the show. If you can just
Hi,
tell
Stuart.
listeners a little bit about yourself.
Hi, Stuart. Yep, as you said, my name is Laila from a band called Sonic Boom 6, and we're heading out on tour in a couple of weeks. And yeah, Glasgow. We're really happy to be coming to Glasgow again. We were there in December, and the show was the best one on the tour. So we can't wait.
Now, are you just saying that because I told you before we came on that I was at that show, or?
Oh no, I didn't
No?
realise you were at that show.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
because you
yeah.
said you've been to a couple. No. I am telling the truth because I didn't know that. No, it was because we'd not been, because we always get especially Glaswegian fans always complain because we never come to Glasgow, and I think we worked out that it had been like 3 or 4 years since we'd been
Yeah.
in December, and it was just such a good night. It was loads of fun. So we're really looking forward to coming back again.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great night. That's the second time I've seen you guys. I saw you in, I think, 2013 with Hadouken in Edinburgh, which is where I
Oh
live.
yeah.
I saw you guys then. I will admit a little bit of fanboyism here that I kind of bought the ticket when they announced
Is that
you there.
Is that the gig that Hadouken didn't play in the end because the venue flooded or something?
Yep, it was
Something
a
to do with the
disaster.
lights.
Yep, absolute disaster. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's the problem with Edinburgh is that you have like three potential venues for decent
Is it
bands to come
Liquid
and play.
Rooms?
Liquid Rooms, yeah, but an ironic name in the
Yeah,
end.
I remember that.
So yeah, that's sort of the second time I've seen you, but yeah, it was fantastic.
See, that doesn't
And
happen in Glasgow.
it doesn't happen in Glasgow
Glasgow,
now.
every time we get there, it's great venue, great people, and we always have a good night.
Yeah, see the problem with
Touch
Glasgow,
wood.
it's like a 55-minute drive for me, which is fine. But yeah, it's sort of great to see you guys coming back so soon. Obviously it's not been long since you ended your last tour, so was it always the intention when you released the F-bomb to tour it sort of so widely so early?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely, because it felt like we'd had a little bit of a break. So last year, the year before last, we did a few festivals and went to Germany and Bulgaria, but we didn't really play the UK that much. Whereas we've got a new agent who started last year, and we kind of put a plan together that, for every single release, every few months, that we're gonna hit the road, try and get to places, try and get to all the major cities. And that's what we're doing. We love going on tour.
Yeah.
And yeah, and especially in the UK, because you know that it's like, and especially when you're headlining, because you know that people are there to see you. It's like you don't need to win anybody over. It's an easy gig, and it's always fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the venue that you're playing in March in Glasgow is actually it's one of my favourites in the country. Like I've been to gigs up and down the country, and it's the O2 ABC in Glasgow is phenomenal. So
Yeah,
in
I've
both
been
parts of
there.
it.
I think we played there with Real Big Fish in the big room,
Yeah,
because there must be two rooms because
yeah, there is.
yeah, because the big room is massive. Yeah, we played there with Real Big Fish, and it was great. Yeah, so yeah, it's really nice to come back and be playing a venue that we've not been to, because the last time in December was a venue that we'd never played as well.
Yeah, that was Stereo Cafe. Yeah.
Yeah, which was a great little venue.
Yeah, I mean, I saw King Blues there last month, and it's such a
Okay.
fantastic venue. Like it's great, but the ABC is awesome. I saw Vex Red last month in
Right.
the same room as you'll be playing, and it's
Okay.
actually it's like a really nice version of the big room, because you've got the same sort of kind of layout, and you've got the same access to the stage and to the fans from your perspective,
Yeah.
without losing like the intimacy of a smaller venue. It's awesome in there as well. So yeah, really looking forward to it. But yeah, so if we sort of explain to people who may not know, if they haven't found this podcast through your Twitter account, they may have found it through mine or one of the affiliate pages. What Tell us what Sonic Boom 6 are all about.
What we're about.
In a roundabout way, as vague as you like.
Well, we're a band, and we create. Well, we've been around for a while. We started in the sort of underground ska punk scene, like the UK underground ska punk scene, and over the years we've sort of changed our sound. We've played around with rock,
Yeah.
like electronic, hip hop, ska, and the last album was predominantly sort of going back to our roots, a more ska and reggae vibe. It's always been one of our things that you can't really pigeonhole us, because we're not really that kind of band. So if you like big ska feminist anthems, then go to our last album. If you like more punky underground stuff, go to our first.
Yeah, I mean,
and then if you want anything in between, go to our second, third, and fourth.
yeah, that was one thing I was going to mention is that, I mean, the first time I heard of you guys, I think the first song I heard of yours was Bigger Than Punk Rock.
Yeah.
It was maybe on a Mix Mag or Kerrang CD or one of these kind of things.
Yeah, so that's like that was like the blueprint for Sonic Boom 6. So when we started, we wanted to create like punk mixed with the Fugees, the Clash, Streets, Beastie Boys, that was our thing. And Bigger Than Punk Rock was like the template for the sound that we wanted to create. So that was our go-to song, if you wanted to get into Sonic Boom 6.
Yeah, I mean, the as you sort of mentioned, that you guys have covered so many different, almost sort of subgenres in your time together. I mean, the first sort of full album of yours that I really got invested in was probably the self-titled album, from 2011 or 12, was it?
Yeah.
The self-titled Sonic Boom 6 album. Like I still listen to that quite regularly.
I mean, I love that one.
Yeah.
I love that one because it's a mixture. The thing is, I was speaking to somebody today, and it's like, we can sort of try and come up with all sorts of different genres and sounds for Sonic Boom 6, but ultimately, if it's me singing, Barney rapping, and it's gonna whatever genre it is, it's gonna sound like Sonic Boom 6. We're quite lucky in that way, that even when we cover something, to us it's like, it's a straight cover of a song, but to our fans, and like when we record it, it always has that Sonic Boom 6 vibe to it.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I kind of wanted to ask you a little bit about before we sort of went on to, your tour, your newest album, all that sort of thing, is your videos. Your music videos are fantastic. Obviously, you've just had a new one come out, for Do What You Want to Do. It dropped a couple of days ago. I think the single is out on iTunes in a few days, from what I saw earlier.
Yes, is it?
But it's out already in other places. It's out already.
Yeah, pre-order is available now, and then I think it's out on the 4th of March.
Yeah,
which might even be tomorrow.
That's Saturday.
Okay, tomorrow, whatever day tomorrow is.
Tomorrow's
I think
the 3rd.
that's when it's out. Sorry,
so, no, that's okay. It's even better. I mean, even better. It's sooner. I don't need to wait. I really want to hear you guys covering Rag and Bone Man. Actually, I'm quite looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's the B-side. So, yeah, James had this idea. He had this kind of sort of rhythm in his head, and it's like really slow reggae beat, but to the chords of "Human" by Rag and Bone Man, and it just works perfectly. Like, it's an actual cover. When I think of somebody covering someone, I think of it being covered in a different style to the original. And this is, yeah, it is. It was loads of fun to record, and we're hoping to play it. Well, we will be playing it on tour as well, because we love playing covers because they're fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Like, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But yeah, with the video thing, obviously you've got is this the third single from this album, The F Word, that you've done? You had, or the second, certainly the third video you've released. 'Cause you had No Man, No Right, and From the Fire to the Frying Pan.
Right. Yeah. And this is Do What You Want to Do, which we released last week. The video, which is just, it's one of them. It's the lyrics you take from them. They're pretty obvious. Do what you want to do. It's like, you don't need to conform. You don't need to be told what to do. You just need to live your own life and be happy. And basically, don't listen to other people if they have a problem with your tattoos, or if they've got a problem that you're 45 and you don't have a good job. You know what I mean? You should do what makes you happy. And we're always sort of about narrative videos. And this time I just wanted a video where it was fun and it went with the music and it went with the vibe of the song. Anything where you're going to be using Gino by Dexys Midnight Runners. You can't have like you don't want a narrative. You want something that's going to give your eyeballs a good workout. And yeah, and I'm really happy because I feel like we really achieved that with this video. It's like I had a very clear idea in my head, and sometimes when you have like a graphic designer on board and a director, it's hard to get out of your brain exactly what you mean, because you don't sometimes know exactly what you mean. But with this, it just everyone worked really well, and it just all fit, and it came out. I'm like super chuffed with it.
Yeah, I mean it's almost hypnotic, the video. Like, I mean, when I first watched it, in a very good way, I will admit, it's a very good way of hypnotic, because it kind of very quickly after watching it became my favorite song on the newest album.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. That
Yeah, like
in a effect.
Yeah, like in a very positive way, because I couldn't skip over talking about the video for No Man, No Right. As it's a great song, it's a great video, but I feel like together, it's more important if you put them together and actually watch the video and the song at the same time.
Exactly, because the narrative's there, and that is, some people don't listen to lyrics. Like, I know people that do not listen to lyrics, musicians that don't listen to what the words are saying.
Yeah.
So for something like No Man, No Right, if you have a video where it's kind of the video spelling out what the song is, that's great. But for something like Do What You Want to Do, it just didn't feel necessary. Whatever ideas I was coming up with for a narrative for it just didn't seem right. It just needed to be like exactly how it is.
Yeah, exactly, and they're all fantastic. I mean, throughout the years, like, just from having watched them all, I mean, you had Jim Bowen in one of your videos, I seem to remember.
Yeah. It's funny, I always forget our videos, and then when I went back to Manchester last weekend, and went to my mate's house, and there was like a few of us around, and we always put mixes on YouTube just to have on in the background.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, let's watch the new video," and I was like, "Oh, okay," like on the big telly. So he put the new video on, and obviously because it's like on the Sonic Boom 6 channel, the next one comes up, then the next one, and we ended up watching them all, and I was just like, Oh, I actually forgot there was a video for the high cost of living. Like, and I just completely forgot we had a video for that. So yeah, it is fun to kind of go back and watch them, because I think we only did our first video, not only, but we only did I think we did one video for the EP that we had, one video for the first album. We only sort of started stepping up the video game in like the third album, I think. So we were quite sort of late to it. But now it's kind of, to me, it's necessary to have a video to accompany your song.
Yeah, I think you have to get the sort of viral element of it out, and I think that No Man No Right, because of the social networking element of it, it's a very easy one for it to go viral in some sort of way, or have it shared around.
Yeah, and you got to think as well, like, people actually, like all my mates, they listen to music on YouTube. They don't watch the videos, they listen, they use YouTube like Spotify.
Yeah.
And so if it's like an eye-catching, different looking video, that is only going to encourage people to kind of watch the video again and again.
Yeah.
So you kind of don't need to think about it too much. That's what you do, and it serves its purpose.
Yeah. Do you just before we move on, do you have a favourite video from your career, or?
No, this is what my mate was asking, because he was like, "Oh, go on, what's your favourite?" And I was like, I'm one of them people that I forget. Whatever we've done most recent is always my favourite, because I just completely forget about the past. Never ever think about the past. So I'd say the new one, just so that people will go and watch it.
For what it's worth, the new one is awesome. But if you do happen to get stuck on the YouTube channel and watch through the rest of them, personally, I really enjoy the Karma is a Bitch video with you taking on Barney at the end.
One.
Yeah,
I totally forgotten about that one as well. And then it came on, and I was like, oh my god, we have actually got quite a few videos. I'm gonna have to put them on rotation on social or something.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, I will admit that I saw a few of them again for research for speaking to you this evening. But like there was a few, like I did notice. Am I correct that your dog appears just from seeing it on Instagram and stuff?
No, he's my friend's dog called Hendrix.
Oh, okay.
People and animals always make appearances in our videos. Hendrix is at the end of the No Man No Right video, which is quite funny, because what people don't know is when you watch that video and you see the person that's holding Hendrix, who isn't Hendrix's owner, by the way, it was a person that came to, because we put on like a little gig, so that there was a crowd. Had actually been up for 2 days on acid. So like now, whenever I watch that video and I see Hendrix in his little Hawaiian shirt, I'm always like, oh yeah, and that's the person that was on acid for 2 days that was holding Hendrix. It's just, it's like little stories like that nobody else knows. I am dog mother. I look after him when I can.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I sort of saw it, and I from like Instagram posts, I went, I wonder if that's a dog. I'll need to. So I've actually have a note of the dog cameo. I've got
the dog. He's called Hendrix.
I've got Jimbo and /dog written in my notes, so
it could be interchangeable.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Jimbo was lovely. He got us. Is it a bully? The teddy thing. Yeah, he got us one of them each. He was one of the nicest people ever. Like really, really nice. Like proper up for a laugh.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hero from all accounts. Like he's
yeah, definitely.
Can't beat a bit of bully, huh? Anyway, so if we talk about the upcoming tour, obviously you guys, you said that you had a little break. Obviously, I'm sure it was while you were sort of doing the pledge music thing for the F-bomb, which we'll talk about in a little moment. But you guys are pretty busy touring as often as you can. Do you have like a sort of favourite gig or venue or city even that you've played that really stands out?
We did a gig in Bulgaria like about a year and a half ago, which was it was unbelievable. It was like the town square. I think it was like Freedom of Europe Day or something. It was a town square. There was at least 10,000 people there. The sound was great. The lighting was great. We played amazingly. And it was just, you never know what to expect. Like, you could even go to Manchester and play a gig and you never know what to expect until you're actually on stage. And that was just one of them gigs where everything was just perfect. And it's sort of like, gone are the days where, like, we still get it's quite stressful before you play because, it's really hard to relax and you can't, you're always thinking that, what if something goes wrong or whatever, but we've got a lot better at dealing with that now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, we just enjoy all the gigs. But that Bulgaria one definitely stood out.
So, I mean, with that in mind, I mean, obviously you guys have played massive festivals. You've played Download.
Yeah.
Have you Reading or Leeds? Have you played those, or am I?
Yeah, we've played them about six times.
Awesome.
Yeah, about 6 times. I reckon we've done Reading and Leeds.
Awesome. Yeah, that's. Do you plan on any festivals this year, or is it not?
Yeah, well, we're going to America in May to do a festival in Virginia, and then we're going back in the summer to do a few gigs. So a lot of the summer is going to be in America. And then when we're back in August, we're hoping to catch the end of festival season and get on. We'll try and get on at least 2, if sort of like we're back in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if this is the year to kind of, this new booking agent he's great, and he's, we're his priority, and he really, really works his arse off. And offers have been coming in, but we're in America, so hopefully some of them offers are a bit later in the summer so that we can do them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a nice problem to have.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
nice being able to say, no, we can't do your festival because we're in America.
Yeah, taking over, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, it's been. Yeah, it's time we sort of like got back into the American thing, because the whole ska scene there is like massive.
Yeah,
because it's like you had your Mike Boss Tones, Less Than Jake, No Doubt. There's still all that is still bubbles under, and there's a lot of people that are still into that kind of music. It isn't kind of wacky for them, or it's actually a scene where even younger kids sort of are aware of it and get into it. So with the F-bomb, it's kind of like the perfect home for it, because there's a lot of people that are sort of into that kind of music and the kind of message that we're sort of there to deliver.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I hope you guys do well in America. I hope that anyone who's listening to this who is anywhere near Virginia can make the effort to get along to it. I know from speaking to the Hostiles who supported you in Glasgow that the ska scene here is a little bit frustrating for them at times. So it's kind of good to see dedicated festivals picking up bands like that, and you guys.
Yeah, definitely, and with us as well, because the UK is so fragmented. It's like we don't fit on the ska bills,
yeah,
and we don't fit on the rock bills, and we don't really fit anywhere. But we kind of make ourselves fit because of the message and the sound. So we're kind of happy not being pigeonholed, but it is nice to be able to go and play big ska festivals in America with a predominantly ska reggae sounding set, because we've got the F-bomb is essentially that.
Yeah, it's a really sort of ska oriented album, and I
Yeah.
actually I reviewed you guys when you played Glasgow, and I'd sort of commented on the big departure from your previous album to this one. Like this one, it's a much sort of it's a much more laid back album, I think.
Yeah, I think with previous albums, it was always like, oh, this is our ska punk tune, this is our punk tune, this is our ska tune. So on every album, when you go back, there is a ska. There's like Through the Eyes of a Child,
Yeah.
Northern Skies, ska reggae song. It's always been there. And even with the hip hop stuff like Monkey See, Monkey Do, All In, they're like songs that we wrote, some of the first songs we wrote, and they could be on, they wouldn't be a million miles apart if they were sat next to No Man No Right or Do What You Want to Do. So it's kind of like we've gone back full circle. We've just kind of dropped some of the heavy sounds, but we're doing. We are recording a collection of songs, which hopefully we're going to start pledging in April for, and they're all going to be punk rock, hardcore, like eight tracks of just melt your face, full time punk rock. Because we're like, we're in a position where we can do that. We've done the ska reggae album, so we're like, okay, well, we want to do this now. There's kind of no one stop us, and we're good at it, and we know we can be heavy as well.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, let's give our fans some more music. They know. Our fans are like, oh, what next? They know it's not going to be. We've never repeated the same album twice.
No, and
yeah.
Sorry, I think that's a great thing. I mean, one thing that I would say about the new songs fitting into your set. I mean, even just in Glasgow, if I'm being completely honest, I hadn't really sold myself on the F-bomb until I saw you guys play the new songs along with the older ones.
Okay.
Just to sort of full disclosure kind of thing, but the likes of Do What You Want to Do. Drop the Bass as well.
Yeah.
Like those songs went down an absolute storm, and you could tell from the crowd's perspective that you guys were really into playing them. And
I think the consistency in one consistent thing in our sound has always been when we do a song that isn't heavy, it always has the bounce.
Yeah.
So even if you don't know us, even if you don't know the words or the message that, not message, but, what we're about, it doesn't matter because you can nod your head and you can dance. And that is kind of like, we were like, well, let's just make an album of songs that people can bounce to.
Yeah.
Because when I listen to music or I go to see bands, if it's like the Dub Pistols, you don't need to know the songs. It's just good.
Yeah.
It's just good sounds, and you can sort of dance, and it doesn't matter that you don't know the words. And that's completely, since day one, we've always been about like that. We've been about that. If you take, if you listen to it at home and the lyrics strike a chord with you, then that's great. But if they don't, and you've just had a little bounce and had a great time, that's great too.
Yeah.
We don't need you to have the whole boom package.
Yeah. The guy I ended up going to see you guys with in Glasgow, like up until the day of the gig, I was going with my girlfriend, and then she couldn't at the last minute, so I called him. He lives in Glasgow. I was like, look, got a spare ticket for this gig. Don't need to pay me, just I'm going, like, you come with me. He hadn't really heard of you guys before, and he has bought my ticket for Glasgow. Like the upcoming Glasgow gig, like he wanted to come back to see you guys again, knowing your stuff so much that he's now paying for me in return. So like you definitely have
That's
the ability
great.
to win people over just from seeing you live. So,
and that's what we love to hear, and that's why when we play festivals, we always go down quite well, because you don't have to have a badge of what music you like to like Sonic Boom 6.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. You could be. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You don't have to sort of be in one corner and say, well, I only like this music, and you can still like us, because we're kind of weird and don't really sort of fit one mold anyway.
I mean, I think that's great in the fact that if you have to introduce somebody to you guys, like you've got such a diverse catalogue of music, that if you can almost
that's how
like
it should be, shouldn't it? That's how it should be. It's still with the new album, it's more consistent than anything we've ever done, and we still get, when we were sending it out to labels and stuff, it was still like, oh yeah, but it's kind of jumps from sound to sound, and it's like, you haven't listened to Sonic Boom 6 then. But I don't know, it's like, the older we get, the more we realise we can do exactly what we want, as long as our fans are happy. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fans definitely are happy, like sort of looking at reviews and feedback online for the F-bomb.
It's really nice to kind of have them back in our corner, because I know with Sonic Boom 6, it kind of did divide opinion, and I think maybe some of our old school fans thought they'd kind of lost us for a bit, but we made this album like from the heart. We wanted to make this album. We wanted to write about these songs, and I think you can just tell. Like you can't kid your fans, and yeah.
Well, that's really apparent from the fact that you financed this one through Pledge Music as well. Like that was a huge success. I mean, I've got my signed vinyl sitting on my shelf over there from the Pledge campaign. So thanks for that.
No, thank you for being so patient.
No.
I think it's the longest running Pledge campaign ever.
But I mean, does that give you confidence that the fans are behind you? Does that make you? I mean, seeing that sort of trickle in, does it?
Yeah, because we didn't know where we were at, and we were like, oh, if it gets this amount, we'll be happy, and it completely smashed that. Albeit it was because it ran for like a year longer than it should have, but that kind of gave us the boost as well to like keep going and going, oh, okay, because it's so hard to kind of look at things objectively when you're in it. It's impossible, especially when you've been doing it this long. You just can't. So it was the boost. It was a good boost for us.
So I mean, do you have anything about the cover of the album or the title? I mean, I kind of want. I don't want to say the word provocative to either of them.
It's funny because somebody asked me today, what was it that made us have like a controversial cover? And my answer is, well, why is it controversial? It's a woman in a niqab. Like that shouldn't be you should be asking, not you, but the greater you should be asking, why are you asking why it's controversial?
Of course.
If it was that image with me holding a bomb, or with a suicide bomb belt on me, fair enough. But this is an image of a person who believes in Allah and is in Islam, and there's nothing beyond that, really. No. It's the media that says that's what's that image should create this emotion in you, because I'm not dressed as a terrorist. I'm dressed as a Muslim woman. And I'm not Muslim, but my mum is. So it's kind of like, and for years and years I've run away from that. and I've been really embarrassed that, you know, people would ask, where are you from? And my mum would say, oh, she's, you know, a little bit this, a little bit Turkish, a little bit Arabic. And I'd just be like, I'd go along with it because I was kind of embarrassed to just go, oh, I'm Pakistani.
Yeah.
Because it just felt like it wasn't exotic. It wasn't, you know, I don't know. I was embarrassed, and with this album, I was just like, well, no, that's gotta stop. Oh, yeah, I think someone's coming in. Jesus Christ! Sorry, I'm just doing a podcast. I just scared Barney, housemate, to death. So Ian Britt, he just had a fight. But I am actually looking at the time. I'm going to have to go soon. As much as I've loved chatting to you.
No, it's absolutely no problem. Just before you go, favourite song from the album?
My favourite song from the new album is Worship Yourself, because it's written about a very dear friend of mine who was in an abusive relationship, and it was very difficult to get through to her. But then when I finally did, she was in a much better place.
That's excellent. Like I say, it's a great album. Quick question before I let you plug away whatever you want to until you need to go. Who's Joanna?
Oh, it's about Laura Jane Grace from Against Me.
Okay, awesome, fantastic.
Yeah. And not, you know, the whole thing. It's for the trans community.
Yeah.
And for anybody that, it's written from the perspective of a friend who has to see their friend in a new light and sees that it understands something that wasn't necessarily part of their life before, and how this person is hopefully a beacon of hope for other people that are in similar situations or feel that way.
Fantastic. That's about the end of my notes anyway. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Laila, thanks so much for coming on. It's been great chatting to you. Absolute privilege talking to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't chat any longer.
No, it's no problem. I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys in March. If you've got anything that you want to plug,
make sure that you
go for it.
Go through the label and get on the guest list.
Oh, excellent.
Oh no, your friend's already bought you a ticket.
I do. I've already got a ticket. I'm a fan. I had to buy one. You know,
Oh, you're the best. I love you. Well, we'll get you a beer from the rider.
Excellent. Thanks so much. Anything that you want to say or go with before you head off?
No, hopefully see people at the Glasgow show, which, me being super sketchy, I don't know the date of. Sorry. But maybe you can help Stewart.
You know what? I'm having a look, and my ticket is pinned on my fridge.
Okay, you have a look and I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
Watch our new video. If you just go on YouTube, put Sonic Boom 6, do what you want to do, give it some love. It seems to be going down well at the moment. But I will warn you, it is quite heavy on the eyes, so it's not for the faint-hearted. And that's it. Yeah, thank you to everyone that keeps coming to our gigs and buying our music and just letting us still be in a band after however many years. It's a really good feeling knowing that we've kept working hard and that we've still been able to all be friends and be in this band that we started when we were kids.
Excellent. Well, I will see you in Glasgow on the 21st of March.
There you go. You are a pro. You've done this before.
And for everyone listening at home, thanks very much. Laila, I will sign you off now so you can go and do your band practice. I'll not take up your time by doing my outro. But thanks very much, and I will speak to you later.
Yeah. Okay. Take care, buddy.
Peace. Bye. Everyone else who's still listening, thank you so much for taking your time out to tune into this podcast. If you're not familiar with FPG News, search us on Facebook, look for us on Twitter at FPG_news. I'm out after dark 216 on Twitter if you want to get in touch with me. But yeah, every day, new columns. We talk about movies, games, music, wrestling, mixed martial arts, all sorts of topics over there. New posts daily, and obviously our podcast network is ramping up as well. So if you're a new listener, thank you very much for tuning in. And if you tune in every week anyway, come back next week for another show, because who knows what it's going to be about or who's going to be on it. Everyone else, peace out. Take it easy.